He said, first of all, that knowledge would be increased. And then he talked about travel. See, back then it was a horse and buggy or whatever they had. Today we can be in Israel in a matter of hours in a jet plane. So he talked about two things in Daniel. He talked about knowledge. And today knowledge has gone out the roof. And travel. And then when you come into the New Testament, I want to talk about a few things. He said, first of all, that it would be as it was in the days of Noah. And then he said it would be as it was in the days of Lot. Lot was the homosexual part of it. And if you look around today, you can see that rampant today. And I want to come back and talk about some other things that's coming down the pike that God shows in the Word of God. And we can say of a surety that Jesus is coming soon. When, I don't know. No man knows the day or the hour, not even Christ when he was on the earth. He does today, but he didn't know then. But no man knows the day or the hour that Jesus is coming back. Right. But he said you can look out there at them trees, and when the sap comes up, you know summer's nigh. He said when you see all these things come to pass, know that the coming of the Son of Man draweth nigh. So if you got your Bible, I want to start in Matthew chapter 24. In one scripture, a lot of people don't pay any attention to. And I'm going to read that while I'm thinking of it. It's in the 24th chapter, 14th verse. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. And then the end shall come. Now, I heard Pat Robertson himself say that about every nation in the world today has the Bible in their own language. And the people like TBN says the gospel has been preached to every nation in the earth. Now, he didn't say every person. He didn't say that. But he said the gospel has been preached to all the nations. Right. And then shall the end come. And so you know yourself that's probably done today. They say it's done today. And I'll take Pat Robertson's, I'll take what he says about it. But I'm going to read from Matthew 24, 21 and 2. For then shall be great tribulations, such as not since the beginning of the world, to this time, no, nor ever shall be. There's going to be great tribulation that there's never been nothing like it on this earth. When I was at the Pontiac Church and tried to teach the second coming of the Lord, they would say to me, well, you've always had tribulations. You've not had a tribulation like this. Praise God. Verse 22. And except those days should be shortened, there should be no flesh saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Who is the elect? It's the Jewish people. And the first question I would ask you, what is the purpose of the tribulation? We teach 1,000-year reign, that Christ will come back and reign on this earth for 1,000 years. What's the purpose of 1,000-year reign? There's got to be a reason for God doing these things, right? Yes. The purpose of the tribulation is that when the fullness of the Gentiles has come in, when the last Gentile is saved, God will rapture, and that's Romans 11 and 25. God will rapture the church, and then he'll turn back and deal with the nation of Israel. So the purpose, one of the purpose for the tribulation is to bring Israel to their knees that they look at the Messiah. Amen. When he comes back. He'll come back on the Mount of Olives, and the Bible said that Israel will be saved in one day. And when he comes back, they'll say, what's these wounds in your hands? He'll say, these are wounds that I got in the house of my friends. That will be the only thing that will ever remind you of earth. When you see Jesus, the wounds will still be there. Praise God. But let me just go and read this. There's a scripture, a little scripture that has puzzled me for years. And I'm not easy puzzled when it comes to the Bible because I'm like a hound dog. I don't quit until I figure I've got the answer. But this week I got the answer. After 45 years of study, this week I got the answer. It's 24 and 36. But of the day and the hour knows no man, not the angels in heaven, but my Father. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as the days of Noah before the flood, they were eating and drinking and marrying and giving in marriage until the day until that day that Noah entered. I can't hardly see because my head messing up. But I got to get this verse. Verse 39 says, and knew not. It says in Israel, the people that's preached to, Noah's preached the second coming of the Lord. Preachers preach it all over, right? But I want you to look what this verse says, 39. and knew not until the flood came. And I said to myself, how can people today know not? And it was that way in the days of Noah. It would be like it was in the days of Noah. Now I'm just teaching this morning. And so it said they knew not until the flood came and took them away. So he's saying the same thing about the folks left on this earth today. They know not. And it's because they don't want to know. Everybody knows that there's going to be a rapture of church and there's going to be a tribulation. But the Bible said they knew not. And if you go back and you ask yourself a question, how come people not recognize what's going on in the spiritual realm? It seems like that nobody's paying any attention to what's going on, right? And the Bible said it would be like it was in the days of Noah. In other words, they knew not until the first drop of rain come. But they know there was a flood coming because here's a man building an ark and he's preaching righteousness, get right because God's going to judge. Amen. They understood that principle, but they paid no attention. So when you look at the world today and you wonder, man, can't you see this? Can't you see that? No. They're going about like there was in the days of Noah. They're building, they're planning, they're married. They're living their life with no thought of God and no thought of the second coming of the Lord. And that's exactly what's happening. And then I'm going to go to the book of Revelation just for a few minutes. And I know I'm having a hard time because I have my head messed up. In the 15th chapter of the book of Revelation, if I can do it. Now, I want you to listen to me. The Bible said, if I had this quote somewhere, I don't know if I'm going to read it or not. I want to read to you. Direction to the north from Israel would be Russia. And if you look to the east, if you just stand in the center of it, look to the east, would be China. So years ago, China and her allies, the Bible talks about, will come from the east to Jerusalem to do battle against Israel. It couldn't happen because the Euphrates River was there and it was an obstacle in their way. But today they've dried the Euphrates River up. That the kings of the east, which would be China and her allies, they'll come from the east against Israel. But I want to show you how this all happens. And you wonder, this thing is speeded up 100 miles an hour. You watch a little thing on television about people protesting, and all of a sudden they say we want to do away with the police officer. You see all these things that your mind couldn't imagine. Somebody say, let's not fund the police officers anymore, that they'll be out of business. And that's crazy. Who ever heard tell anything? And all the protesting throughout the world. Everybody coming against everything. I've never seen nothing in all my life. And I wanted to show you that why it's happening. When the nations will begin against Israel, in the 14th chapter of the book of Zechariah, the Bible said that all nations come against Israel. And the United States is not mentioned in the Bible. So you say, well, where is the United States? Is the United States one of those nations? Do you know how quick we could become a third world country today? All the trillions of dollars that they're spending today. Somebody's got to come up with something to back that up. You know what makes you a third world country? When you spend beyond your means, you go to China and you borrow so many billions of dollars. Now when the interest comes and you've got to pay that back, now you have no money to pay the interest. And so your rating starts going down. And pretty soon when that rating goes down low enough, you can't borrow from anybody. And so therefore you don't have any money in the United States of America. It could become a third world country overnight, the way that things are happening. They're trying to destroy the United States of America. It's a fact. They're trying to destroy the United States of America. And I'll tell you why they are going to succeed. They are going to destroy the United States of America. You said, Brother Ray, I want to show you why I do that. I want to read on if I can see it. In the 16th chapter, I read you about the river drying up. I was going to 13, and I saw, listen to what he said. I saw 3 unclean spirits, like frogs, coming out of the mouth of the dragon, out of the mouth of the beast, out of the mouth of the false prophet. Mm-hmm. That's the trinity of the tribulation. Now, what did he say? He said, I seen frogs coming out of their mouth. They were demonic spirits. What's their mission? For they are the spirits of devils. The spirits of devils. Now listen to me. The Bible said, for they are the spirits of devils, working miracles. Can the demons do miracles? Buddy, if I'm reading my Bible right, they can. He said, for they are the spirits of devils, working miracles. Now look what their mission is. To go forth unto the kings of the earth and the whole world, to gather them to the battle of the great day of God Almighty. So you see, God uses people, bad people, and God uses good people. Now God's using, judgment is on the way for the United States of America. And God is using people today that have demons. And you can say what you want to say. They have demons. There's no doubt in my mind. There's so many evil people on this earth today that are controlled by demon spirits. Right. And so God used them to bring all nations against Israel in the 14th chapter. All nations were together. But who did he use? He used 3 persons demon possessed. And that's why I say today the demonic have been turned loose on that party, and they're trying to destroy the United States of America, and they're going to succeed. Why do you say that? Because the hand of God is bringing judgment on America. The hand of God pretty soon is coming back to take the church home to be with him. And let me just say something else to you. In the sixth chapter of the book of Revelation, I believe it's verse 4, the Bible said that peace will be taken from this earth. And the Bible said they will kill each other with a sword. And what are they trying to prepare the United States of America for? Get rid of the cops. Yep. Get rid of all the police force. Amen. There'll be no peace on this earth if they're taken out. How are you going to find any peace when you're afraid to go out your front door? Somebody stand there to take over your home, to shoot you and take your money. How are you going to have any peace? And praise God, they'll be turned loose on one another. They'll be killing one another. You see, everything is getting ready for the coming of the Son of Man, and He is coming soon. Amen. You believe it or not? Amen. Praise God. There's days that's coming up on this earth that you're going to shudder. And sometimes I get scared inside for people. Yes. And let me just say one other thing to you. The Bible said that there's 2 things. I want to say this before I say what I want to say. There's 2 scriptures I believe I don't know about. The Bible said that the Antichrist, how many studied the book of Revelation? The Bible said that the Antichrist would go into the temple and he proclaimed himself to be God. You go back to Daniel 9:27, the Antichrist will make a peace treaty with Israel for 7 years. And then in the middle of that tribulation, the Antichrist will go into the temple of God. So the temple in Jerusalem, where the Dome of the Rock sat today, has to be rebuilt. Has to be. Because that temple exists during the tribulation. Now, I don't know if they can build that thing overnight, how long it would take to be built, but that has to be built. Will the church be taken out before it's built, or will it be built after the church is gone? I don't know those things. And there's a couple of things like that I'm not sure of. And I get a lot of questions sometimes. I don't want to forget what I was going to say, but I get a lot of questions sometimes. Tammy, my daughter, she used to ask me, Daddy, will little kids go in the rapture? Because she didn't want little kids to do any suffering. And I say, I'm afraid not. No. And she'd get mad and would hit at me. She said, wake up and smell the coffee, Daddy. But I'll tell you why I don't believe it will. With one exception, let me just give a couple of exceptions. Will little children go in the rapture? My question to you, when the flood comes, did little children go in the flood? Did they come out, did they go in the ark and spared from the flood? Or did they go through the flood? In Sodom and Gomorrah, when God warned them that He was raining fire down from heaven, did the little children come out of Sodom and Gomorrah? And I'm not against little children. We love them to death, don't we, Mickey? But the Bible, let the Bible speak. Did the children come out? No, just Noah and his family, just Lot and his wife turned and looked back. She turned the pillow soft. They didn't come out. And this could be an exception, though. I'll tell you this because I don't have all the answers. Right. Neither does anybody else. To say Gary's saved and you've got little kids, will they go to heaven with him? I believe they will. I believe they will. I believe that if you're saved, And you've got little kids when the rapture comes. I believe you'll go to heaven together. I believe that with all my heart. But if you're not saved, then I don't believe you'll go. I don't believe the kids will go. Does that mean that they're going to hell? By no means. Little children are in the ark of safety. They're going to heaven regardless either way. But there's some great destruction that's coming up on this earth. And I don't want to be part of it, do you? If you just look, I better quit, it's getting late. If you just look how that God is allowing. Nothing happens on this earth that don't first pass by God. If the devil could do what he wants to, if this man's going to be used by God, the devil said, we'll kill him. No, he can't do that. Anything that happens has to pass by God.
Amen.
Even in Job, look at the life of Job. When Job went before God, he said, if you consider my servant Job, when Satan went before God, he said, if you consider my servant Job, he said, there's none like him on the earth. And he said, take a hedge away from him. See, Satan couldn't get to him. The Bible teaches that Satan's walking up and down through this earth today, looking for people he may devour. But if you're in that ark of safety, he'll bypass your house and he'll go down to that heathen's house and he'll work him over. If you're supposed to be a Christian and not living for God, you can believe one thing, your house is marked by Satan, because he goes to and fro through this earth. And don't think he don't know these things. He's so much smarter than we are. He don't need to eat, he don't need to sleep. He's 10 times smarter, got more power. So don't think he don't know about all this stuff. Don't think he don't come against you. But the point I wanted to make to you today is God showed me about 4 months ago, that this thing was coming to an end. And I believe it to be so. And I never dreamed, I turned my TV on, that people want to take and do the way they're doing to destroy America. And the governors are saying, all right, go ahead and do it. Mm-hmm. It's not just like some crazy thing. It is crazy, but whoever thought the people in authority would buy into that? Man, I wouldn't tolerate that for a minute. But they know that they're politicians and they got to give a little bit. But I want to say this to you. Jesus is coming soon.
Amen.
Will the church go through any of the sufferings? Maybe I should read that, and I promise you it'll come to a close. It says in Matthew 24, up to that Jesus is sitting them, and they ask him questions when all these things are going to be. And he goes down to verse 8, and he talks about some things. He said that's the beginning of sorrows. The church will go through the beginning of sorrows. But the actual tribulation that's coming on this earth, the church is seen in heaven.
Amen.
If you look at chapter 4 and 5 of the book of Revelation, which is the introduction to the tribulation, you see those that's been washed in the blood. And they say to themselves that we shall reign on earth. They'll come back and reign with Christ. And Christ's ministry has changed. He's a judge now in chapter 5. He's opening the book. He's no longer seated at the right hand of the Father making intercession. Everything's changed now. But we are getting close to the second coming of the Lord. And brother, the more I learn and the more God shows me, it scares me. It scares me for what's coming on this earth for people. But my advice would be to everybody, get just as close to God as you can get.